Uncle Doc sent a super chat earlier saying, "Are WWE better off without TKO?" It depends what side of the argument you're on. Are you on the fans' side? At which point the answer is WWE is better off without them. If you're on the I like making a shit ton of money side of things, then TKO and WWE are a match made in heaven.
Yeah, it depends on, again, what's your thoughts on are all of that. Like, they're making a bunch of money, they're doing well with everything. The product is like fine. You know, there was good stuff like last year and everything and the years prior. If they don't have TKO, then it could be the same thing, honestly. So I don't know if they're better off without TKO. They're different without TKO. Better off? Who knows? Because who knows what that looks like, too. You know, like it could look the exact same, except they don't have as big of deals, because I do think TKO helps them get kind of bigger deals. So it could be bad, it could be good.
TKO,
I don't think there's a real like great answer for that. I'm sorry.
but there's also like there was no one else that they could have sold to that would have been as mover and shaker. Selling to a company that didn't own television was a better deal than selling to like NBC Universal, because WWE never really envisioned themselves as like, oh, we're just a TV brand. No, they saw themselves as a multi-level marketing, and I do mean it that way, type of brand where you could put your stuff everywhere and get away with it and make tons of money off of that. They were the circus. They were never TV. So as a result, going to a place like NBC Universal where they're mostly trying to put you on TV and put you out in media spaces, that wasn't good enough. Whereas what TKO does is their talent agency. For all intents and purposes, they come with a bunch of executives who came from the talent agency world and were willing to put you out there. So they're out there. They're out there on multiple platforms. And I think that for that, it is the perfect place for them to be. And then, of course, you can make the conversation about, like, you know, Ari Emanuel and Vince having a relationship of their own, and Vince getting to keep his job at a time when he shouldn't have been keeping a job, and all the things that come with that. That's another lawsuit that is currently in deposition mode right now. So that we don't need to get into. But no, I think TKO, the way that it's played out, is probably the best situation for WWE in its new ownership role, or in its new ownership world, if you will.
They could have sold to the Saudis.
Did we ever figure out if the Saudis were truly on the table? I think jokingly they were, but I don't think they really ever fully made a play for it. Or if they did, they were one of the people coming out of this deposition that are part of the
Saudis. I think the Saudis are always on the table. They sponsored the Turkey Trot in Colorado. Did you see that?
No, but I'm not surprised. I mean, we talked about this. They have their hands in everything. They're trying to purchase a stake in WBD. I said on another show, it's only a matter of time until they have their hands in an actual U.S. media consortium of some sorts.
Yeah, they're going local now, sponsoring like local turkey trots in different states. So, $5,000 of Saudi money goes to like the winner of the turkey trots. We'll have to. Denise did a turkey trot yesterday. We'll see if the Saudis sponsored Denise's turkey trot.
Wow, Denise getting that Saudi money, I guess.
Yeah, some people actually dropped out of the turkey trot after they learned that Saudis were sponsoring. So they have morals, you know.
Yeah, and again, the people that were in play, we've known about a few of them. None of them, at least as of now, officially came out as being Saudi interest. The PIF was never directly named as a potential suitor for WWE. I don't know what they would have gained from it, other than just keeping Vince in power. Nothing would have changed.
Yeah,
or at least very little would have.
Yeah, I mean, keeping Vince in power would have been the biggest thing.
Yeah, so
which largely happened in TKO anyway, until he
I think
turned out to be a horrible person.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Jimmy had the right idea at the time, where he was saying they're doing it to keep to acquiesce Vince and keep him happy, to sell his stock and to sell his business off, and then slowly but surely something else will come out that will oust him and will leave all shareholders with no doubt that he doesn't deserve to have the position, and that's what happened. Eventually, the lawsuit came, and that was like, well, we're done. This is like, Vince, you're out. That's persona non grata to TKO.
Yeah, but
Oh, that's
it
changed.
also it also came down to like getting money. Like that's what all this stuff comes down to, because they voted to put him back in after the
Yes.
original stuff came out, after the hush money and the misconduct allegations. Like, yeah, he left, but then he got put back in because they voted him back in. And then the Janelle Grant stuff came out, and like I don't think he was going anywhere then until sponsors started threatening to pull out, and then it became like, oh, okay, we're losing sponsors over this. Yeah, you gotta go because you're fucking up the money.
Well, yeah, that's what it was. The once sponsorships came in or came out or threatened to pull out, like Slim Jim did, that was the beginning of the end. That was actually the only one in the end. Because once Slim Jim, whatever the deal with Slim Jim was from a financial standpoint, that was enough for TKO to be like, oh, this is too much. We gotta get this done now. We gotta get him out of here. And that was it. And now, little by little, he had sold off his stock that he still has a large shareholding. He doesn't have the power that he had when TKO was established.
Yeah, because I mean he doesn't have power anyway. He's not
Yes, he's been
like,
stripped of all that. Yes.
yeah. So he just has the shares, and why not sell that stuff? Can't take his money with him.
And like Donk is saying in the chat, future Super Bowl in Saudi Arabia, that is inevitable. Every other sport you think about has been moving an event to Saudi, or the Saudis are being major sponsors for an event.
I don't know if they're gonna get a Super Bowl. That seems. I mean, maybe like it's not like it'd shock me at this point, but I would hope the NFL is like, yeah, we can't do that. We're not doing that. Like, this is an American thing. Like, Super Bowl belongs in America.
We're gonna find out.
It's all because then you also gotta like think of like travel and everything. Like, you gotta go. Like, they do the international games and whatnot, but they meticulously put out like the schedule for those. Now, could there be like a regular season game over there?
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
can buy
sure.
that.
Yeah,
But a Super Bowl is like, yeah, I don't know going full on Super Bowl out here.
it took WWE almost 10 years. So it took about 8 years until we got a WrestleMania go to Saudi. And it was something that people immediately in 2018 thought was a high chance of happening before, before 2020 at that point.
WWE has less moral convictions than the NFL.
Well, somehow that is a factual statement.
Yeah, I'm not saying the NFL is high or anything, but they have less than the NFL. There is a 2-week gap between the conference finals and the Super Bowl. Yes. Here's the thing though. The Super Bowl is more than the Super Bowl, and I think everybody knows that. Like, they do all the, like, everyone comes to this thing. Like, everyone comes to this thing. They do the media row, they do the radio row, like, they rent out buildings for all the media. Like, you can't get that kind of like coverage when it comes to if you hold the event over in Saudi. Like, you can't do all of those things because you're not traveling, you're not flying everybody out there, because it's not just the people who are in the Super Bowl who go over there. Like, players from every team go to the wherever the Super Bowl is held to promote whatever they're promoting, to just be there and everything. Like, there's way more that goes into it than just, hey, here's two teams playing. So I don't think it's ever going to happen, which means it probably will. Like, the NFL is terrible. I'm not saying the NFL is a morally great company.
Yeah, we're just making comparisons to a very low bar.
There's that, and there's also like, yeah, the NFL owner is undefeated in March, sure, but you've also got to think like there are owners, and there is like a players association, and there's way more that goes into it than Nick Khan, who just says, "Yep, let's do the Saudi deal," because that's what it is in WWE. It's, does Nick Khan want to do this? Yep, okay. Who's gonna tell him no? He's the president.
Yeah, there's no ownership team involved in this decision. Nick just says yes, and then you get to work.
Okay. Nick Khan's the president. Who's gonna tell him no? He basically has final say on this stuff. There might be other people who are like, I don't think it's a good idea. Like, if he wants to do this thing and they're getting enough money, they're gonna do it. The NFL is a little bit different because owners can be like, no, we're not doing this shit. Players, because there is a players association, they actually have a say in some of these things, can be like, no, we're not doing this shit. Like, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, overall, morally, yeah, they're both pretty bad. But there's a lot more that goes into this one decision than, hey, let's just do the Super Bowl over in Saudi because Roger Goodell wants to do it. I don't even know if Roger Goodell wants to do it, but he's not the only decision maker in this process. Compared to WWE, they have one decision maker, and whatever his morals say is what it's going to be. You guys are saying like owners won't say no to more money, but more money overall here also means they got to pay the players more money, and they don't always want to do that. So again, there's just way more that goes into this. And okay, the owners might not say no, but there's still a players association, and if the players say no, what are the owners going to do? They're like, well, too bad. No, that's how a strike happens. You're not going to play with scrub players. We've seen that before. Doesn't work too well. You're going to have a lockout season over a Super Bowl in Saudi Arabia. You're going to have a lockout over that. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
a scrub rule though.
let's tank our entire season because the Saudis want to pay us $500 million. The Replacements is a fantastic movie. The Saudis want to pay us $500 million for a game where we already get $300 million. Let's tank our entire season for that. That's dumb.
Yeah. So first of all, like you said, there are far more hurdles from one side compared to the other. WWE is one hurdle, and with the NFL, there were plenty more. Whether that's it's got to go up to Goodell. It doesn't start and end with the commissioner. You do have to deal with the ownership. You have to deal with the players. You got to deal with multiple sides of the coin, so to speak. But I do like the idea of them saying yes and having to do the Super Scrub Bowl live from Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Scrub Bowl.
And like I was saying, like Ryan mentioned, like players go over there, celebrities go over there, all these media outlets go over there, go to wherever the Super Bowl is. If they go to Saudi, then I don't know how that's going to change. But yeah, players doing interviews, doing Super Bowl media, someone will probably say something wrong over there, and like it probably won't end too well. But I don't think if they do the Super Bowl in Saudi, like you would do all of that. You have all these. You have everybody fly out to Saudi just to do these interviews and everything. Like,
I mean, the internet is an amazing place now where you can do interviews. You can do Media Row there.
Do Media Row in Saudi?
In Saudi, but on the internet. In other words, like the talent are there, but everyone else is back home conducting interviews. Kind of like COVID, honestly.
That seems stupid to just fly all the players out there to just hang out. I mean,
there are a lot of stupid.
That's how you sport wash everything. So sure, but
there you go.
Yeah,
I don't know. I tend to agree with you, but I think long term, and this is in 15, 20 years, this could be a different conversation. We could be having the conversation in 5 years that it's in talks, but it's not going to be next year. It's not going to be the year after that. It could be just something that comes up over the next little while. Like you said, if they play a game, an exhibition game of any kind in Saudi, then we could be opening up the doors to
I don't even know if it's an exhibition game. I mean, they're doing an exhibition game with like Tom Brady and people.
So, are they doing that as part of his like flag league though?
Yeah, but it's still like an exhibition thing. So I think you could see a regular season game legitimately. I think you could see a regular season game over there at some point. Super Bowl is just is just a much different beast.
Uncle Dunk following up saying Saudi hosting WrestleMania before the UK is a slap in the face to the UK fans. UK has been one of the most loyal fans, just like Canada. Well, if the UK government wants to shell out several $100 million, then the UK fans will get to be as passionate as any other fans. I give it like at least when they've been going to Saudi the last little bit. Yes, listen, the reason financially that they are getting it is not good. the fans that go, the Saudi fans, the actual like human beings who are there, who are not fully in support of what's going on, they react. They have fun. I will give the fans that. They deserve that.
Gotta pay. That's what
it comes down to. That's why
Gotta
Vegas
pay.
got it and not New Orleans. That's a whole, that's, domestically you want to speak on this situation. It happened here. It happened in the US. If you're willing to pay, like Winnipeg could do it. They could get a pay-per-view. They just got to pay.
Gotta pay. Yep.
Yeah. Toronto gets it because they have a long-term deal now with MLSE, the biggest sports franchising whatever in Canada. So as a result, WWE will be in Toronto much more often. Well, not more often, but WWE will continue to show up in Toronto for events that are not just a house show. Yeah. What is a house show really in 2025? It's a thing that happens abroad, and it's a thing that happens at Christmas time. There's plenty more over on Fightful Overbooked. Click that subscribe button, tap that bell, get your notifications. And while you're at it, like the videos, interact with them, say some stuff. We want to hear from you. While you're at it, join us every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, live for In the Weeds. You might like it.